He just has to touch you once.
Going down.
He's so different than anybody else in the division. Like, he knocks everybody out. Everybody hits hard. They all hit hard.
But he pushed
that
down.
dude hits hard. hard. You know they have that punch machine?
Oh, yeah,
where
you can see the power?
blast it?
What's his power?
190.
Dream that I was that fast and then I was.
Why you wake up? You should have kept dreaming.
Fast.
So, Joe Rogan just watched some fresh training clips of Shakur Stevenson, and his reaction was priceless. The footage showed Stevenson throwing combinations with absolutely insane hand speed and pinpoint accuracy that had Rogan's jaw on the floor.
He even does it with his right hand, which is not his power punch.
And it still
his
was
power
130?
punch is his left hook. His left hook is what he knocks out everybody with. But it might be that his left hook is faster and it's a better weapon because it's in the front, and his right hand is more powerful, but he just doesn't land it as often that way. Did you find it?
What's wild about this training evolution is how it reveals Stevenson's game plan shift. Sure, he's always been a defensive wizard, but now we're seeing him drill explosive offensive sequences. This looks like a completely different version of Shakur emerging. Here's where it gets interesting. Terrence Crawford has been grinding in the gym right next to Stevenson as both fighters gear up for that massive Lopez showdown. We're talking about Crawford, one of the most elite pound-for-pound talents on the planet, actually sparring and working drills with Stevenson. These sessions are all about getting Shakur ready for the jump to 140 pounds and that title fight with Lopez.
Shoot! With the phone in my hand. How was this ever?
What separates Stevenson's approach isn't just throwing more punches. This guy obsesses over precision, perfect timing, and making every single shot matter. He reads his opponents like a book and adjusts on the fly, throwing punches with surgical intent instead of just wild volume. Watch his head movement and you'll see something special. He slips punches by millimeters without ever losing his balance or his ability to fire back instantly.
First sparring day, say he about to violate, we about to see.
Well, this up. He gonna think he gonna think the referee hitting him in that bitch. Champ gonna just be hitting him all day long. Bop, bop, bop. He gonna be steady coming. Oh, he tough. But we gonna hit him with all that good shit. We gonna be ready for his ass.
You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fingers and say, that's the bad guy. So, will I make you good?
Yeah, get ready.
The contrast in fighting philosophies is fascinating. Stevenson built his reputation on perfect timing, reading what's coming next, and lightning fast counters that make him nearly impossible to hit clean. Lopez operates differently, staying aggressive and moving forward, but picking his moments carefully without getting reckless.
Picking his shots carefully.
Talking about styles making fights, and Tio's style, even if he's on his front foot, he doesn't commit to a lot of punches on the front foot, but he can fight that way. Shakur almost exclusively wants to go defense to offense versus leading the exchange. So I don't know, not to say Shakur will be on the back foot the whole time. That's not necessarily how I see the fight going, but I don't know if this is going to be like a knockdown, drag him out type of thing. I think we're going to get a defensive, sweet science display from both guys.
He's spoken openly about
What drives Stevenson is this hunger to test himself against the absolute best. He actively seeks out fighters who force him to be disciplined and adaptable because that's how he grows. Every single time he enters the ring, you can see this confidence and obsession with mastering his craft rather than taking easy fights. That mentality is what's sharpening him for elite-level wars like this Lopez battle.
But it sent a message to the fans, but I think it also did something for you to prove to yourself that, man, listen, that wasn't like my best performance, but I showed you I can get it out the mud. What did that performance kind of do for you now that you look back at it?
Honestly, I think like styles-wise, I think that Zepeda's style is the style that's supposed to give me the most trouble. Like guys that box and give me time to think is the guys that's going to have a fit with me all night. But the guys who press me and put me against some ropes and throw a million punches, that's the style that's supposed to give me trouble. So I went out there and I prevailed against that style, and now I'm fighting against a boxer, which for me, it just makes it more fun. I don't have to deal with a guy that's trying to like wear me down so much.
Right.
So now I gotta play chess. I gotta do what I do best.
Stevenson's punch selection sets him apart from most fighters. Rather than throwing wild flurries hoping something lands, he waits patiently for those perfect openings where he can land clean, precise counters that completely mess up his opponent's timing and game plan.
All we do is win.
The dedication Stevenson has shown preparing for this Lopez fight is absolutely next level. Day after day in training camp, he's pushed his body and mind to the breaking point, fine-tuning every skill while adapting to the weight increase and perfecting his movement and timing to handle Lopez's explosive power and relentless pressure. His sparring partners include absolute killers, and those sessions with Crawford are specifically designed to replicate the kind of challenge Lopez will bring. He's even adding serious strength training to pack more power behind his punches. The commitment runs so deep that Stevenson actually skipped holiday celebrations to maintain his focus and keep his body in peak condition with his mind completely locked on victory. This level of sacrifice shows a champion who understands exactly how big this moment is for his career.
He told me, all right, so
Let's fight.
Think of Stevenson as this defensive riddle that drives opponents absolutely crazy by shutting down everything they plan to do. He forces constant adjustments that eventually break fighters mentally, His whole system revolves around perfect timing, seeing punches before they're thrown, and lightning counters that make him almost impossible to hit solidly. Lopez brings a totally different energy, methodically pressing forward without overextending himself, carefully selecting his shots. When these styles collide, expect a chess match where both fighters are testing each other's discipline, ability to adapt, and pure ring intelligence rather than just throwing bombs.
Power or aggression.
I don't expect him to fight the same way versus Teofimo Lopez. I really don't. And I think people are looking at the Zepeda fight and going, yeah, that's Shakur we want. And I don't want to say he's going to disappoint people, but he will not fight that way with Tio. He won't. And Tio won't fight the same way William Zepeda did. They'll both be very measured. I think it'll be a very slow-paced, low-output fight. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I could see maybe they go to war or something, but we're talking about styles making fights. And Tio's style, even if he's on his front foot, he doesn't commit to a lot of punches on the front foot, but he can fight that way. Shakur almost exclusively wants to go defense to offense versus leading the exchange. So I don't know. Not to say Shakur will be on the back foot the whole time. That's not necessarily how I see the fight going, but I don't know if this is going to be like a knockdown, drag him out type of thing. I think we're going to get a defensive, sweet science display from both guys.
Most fighters moving up in weight take a tune-up fight or two to adjust, not Stevenson. He deliberately chose to skip those safer options and go straight after a title, because he genuinely believes he belongs with the elite at any weight class. Meanwhile, Lopez's recent fights at 140 have people talking, and not always positively. Some observers point out that he's been winning decisions instead of delivering those crushing stoppages, which has some questioning whether he's really the most dangerous champion in the division. But here's the thing about Lopez. His resume speaks for itself, with major victories and championship experience that makes him a legitimate threat to anyone, especially someone new to the weight class.
I heard you was the one that wanted to fight, right?
Yeah. I actually set this fight up, and I honestly did it because I wanted to push myself. I know that Tio is a tremendous fighter. I know he's on an extremely high level, and I feel like, well, I know that I can beat him, but I know that this should be a tough session, so I'm ready.
Who were some of the other options you had?
Lamar Roach.
That would have been a real good fight, man. But I mean, Tio, he's a bigger name, though, so I see why you went with him.
Yeah, bigger name, and also he got the more accolades. He's been undisputed before. He's done one belts at 35, one belts at 30, at 40. So he's more accomplished. So I know that would be a better name on my resume.
Yeah, a lot of people saying that this is going to be a tough fight for you.
I mean, they absolutely right to have their opinion. I already know this guy's good. I done came up in the amateurs with him. I chose this for that reason. Like,
the tale of the tape tells an incredible story of two completely different paths to elite status. Shakur Stevenson brings a perfect 24-0 record with 11 knockouts into this war, already having captured world titles in multiple lower weight divisions and successfully defending that WBC lightweight championship with pure technical brilliance and composure. His movement, discipline, and southpaw puzzle create nightmares for opponents. Teofimo Lopez counters with a 22-1 record featuring 13 knockouts while holding that IBF light welterweight crown after moving up from his earlier success as the unified lightweight king. What motivates Lopez goes beyond just winning fights. He genuinely believes elite-level fighters deserve elite-level money and insists that a fight of this magnitude should deliver both entertainment and proper financial reward. Lopez makes it clear that his approach brings genuine excitement, variety, and creativity to the ring, not just safe defensive boxing. He points to specific moments where analysts were genuinely shocked by his technical adjustments and adaptability against world-class opposition. Taking inspiration from boxing legends, he mixes classic combination punching with modern athletic ability to keep evolving his game. For Lopez, this Shakur fight represents way more than money or media attention. This is about demonstrating his versatility, respecting boxing's rich history, and proving he deserves to be in the biggest fights of this generation.
You know what you're talking about, right?
Of course, I'm talking about Shakur.
for a bill.
For me.
Ooh, we didn't get into Shakur.
Oh, yeah, I want to see like entertainment, and then pay the man for that entertainment.
Well,
you know,
I
give it all different kind of traits of skills. I mean, even Andre Ward, someone that's like an analyst, like a perfectionist in boxing, like his IQ is high. he was even the commentator, like, he was surprised how I did that jab where it was like a Superman punch to Josh Taylor, a guy that's undisputed and everything, and just made it look so easy. I bring so many things. I even brought a George Foreman combination now because that's everything. Everything is everything. Like, I go back in time because that's where my future is at. And so, like, as far as like retirement and stuff, honestly, man, it's up to the networks. It's really up to the networks.
Eddie Hearn calls the Lopez versus Stevenson clash exactly what boxing desperately needs right now. He's talking about two fighters at the absolute peak of their powers, each bringing completely different but equally dangerous skill sets. Hearn breaks down Stevenson's technical mastery and mental discipline, explaining how his ring intelligence and obsessive preparation make him a real threat even when he's giving up natural size and power to a guy who was born to fight. But Hearn also recognizes what Lopez brings to the table with that explosive athleticism and unpredictable style that can make life miserable for even the most prepared opponents. According to Hearn, this stylistic clash is pure boxing gold. Fans should expect a genuine battle between boxing intellect and raw power with momentum, representing the ultimate test for both men at the pinnacle of their careers.
I think Shakur is massively underrated in terms of his achievements and his ability. Everyone in boxing knows how good Shakur is. He is, pound for pound, top 5 in terms of quality. But look at the achievements of the young man. At 28 years of age, he's already a 3-division world champion. This is to become a 4-division world champion. Quite remarkable. And Teofimo always rises to the occasion. Sometimes you see a little bit of a lackluster performance when he's not motivated, when there isn't kind of any legacy on the line. This is different. This is a sold-out Madison Square Garden between two of the elite fighters of our generation. And the best thing about this fight is we're seeing them in their prime.
Legendary boxing mind Teddy Atlas makes a crucial point about why Stevenson and Lopez deserve massive respect. These guys are doing something most top fighters actively avoid, taking genuinely risky high-stakes fights against elite-level opposition. Look around today's boxing scene and you'll see fighters protecting perfect records, chasing easy title defenses, or delaying dangerous matchups for financial or promotional reasons. Stevenson and Lopez said no to the easy money. Instead, they're stepping up against each other at a higher weight division, completely aware of what they're risking. This decision shows real confidence in their abilities and a competitive spirit that honors boxing's greatest traditions. By making this fight happen, both fighters show genuine respect for the sport and for fans who want to see the absolute best compete against the absolute best.
You know, Teofimo at certain spots, he's avoiding this guy, he's avoiding that guy. You can't take those shots at these two guys. Definitely can't now. They are stepping up and they are taking fights that a lot of people are probably surprised they took. Now, a lot of people will say style-wise, Teddy, style-wise, is this going to be a great fight? I don't know if it will. I mean, style-wise, I could see you having a little reservations, you know, whether or not these guys will make for dynamite. They will make, you know, for electricity. I don't know if they will, but I tell you what they will make for. Two skillful fighters, two talented fighters, you know, two fighters that are at a high skill level that will compete in the sweet science.
Atlas raises an important distinction about what fans should expect from this Stevenson-Lopez showdown. While the skill level will be through the roof, this might not deliver constant fireworks or explosive exchanges throughout. Real boxing fans understand the difference between technically brilliant fights and those pure entertainment slugfests. Some of the greatest fights in boxing history showcase absolute mastery without generating non-stop action. Stevenson's recent performance against Robson Canseco perfectly demonstrated his complete skill set. He can dominate on the inside and outside, blending defensive genius with controlled aggression. He controls distance like a surgeon, counters with perfect accuracy, and adapts to whatever his opponent brings while staying competitive for every second of every round. These skills guarantee that even if this fight doesn't turn into an all-out war, fans will witness intelligent high-level boxing featuring strategy, skill, and real-time adaptation.
I mean, Shakur showed aggression in his last fight against Zepeda, you know, being elusive while being aggressive, you know, walking them down, fighting on the inside, you know, boxing well,
still being able to counter, still being able to control space, but also be able to go into tight quarters and not be afraid to show that he's good on the inside too, that he can make you miss and make you pay outside and inside. Shakur showed that. That was great. That was great, and people applaud him. I applaud him. We were sitting there ringside. I was sitting there actually with your sister, ringside, watching that fight. And it was a terrific performance. Shakur showing that dimension, showing that attitude, showing that competitiveness, showing that dog like people like to show or like to talk about. And they wanted to see in Shakur. Well, they saw it.
So here's the million-dollar question. Will Stevenson's technical perfection be enough to outbox Lopez, or can Lopez's power and championship experience deliver a shocking upset on fight night? Let me know your prediction in the comments below.